Welcome to Canada. Welcome. It is unseasonably warm, but I thought I would take advantage of this very warm temperature before we go into single digits to share with you some of the insights that I learned from traveling with a very limited wardrobe for the past 9 months. I spent 3 months in Portugal, February, March, April, 3 months in Croatia, May, June, July, and 3 months in Italy, August, September, October. With that, I was traveling with, it wasn't a crazy limited travel capsule closet, but it was definitely limited compared to what I'm used to working with. My entire closet. If you want to see what I originally brought, I will leave that video up here for you. I definitely donated clothes along the way and accumulated clothes along the way. So over the next sort of few weeks, I'm going to do different videos going over what I learned, what I acquired, what I let go, why, and what it was like working with a limited wardrobe for 9 months. But I thought today I would start with the items that I really didn't wear that often and that I really didn't need, what I would have brought in their stead, or just in general, things that I wish I had brought with me, because there definitely were a few of those. I hope you find this video useful. Before we jump in, a little reminder that I have tickets to my live virtual Shop Your Closet studio still available. It's on November 5th. It's 2 hours and it's not just me talking at you, it's very interactive. If you've never watched my Shop Your Closet videos, I'll leave that up here for you. We have 2 inspiration looks that we break down together, and then instead of shopping my closet for those 2 looks, we have 2 guests and we shop their closets together, and then you help me style them based on what we learn about elements of style. I'll leave all of the details for it in the description box below. Let's jump on in. I'm going to start with the items that I felt were not necessary for my travel capsule. The first was very surprising, and that was my blue striped button-up shirt. This really challenged my thought that, okay, I will bring multiple iterations of basics that I use in my typical outfit formulas. For me, my outfit formulas are shorts and a button down, or jeans or trousers and a button down. I wore this striped button up a couple of times, but I think the reason why I didn't gravitate towards it as often as I thought was that because I was working with such a limited capsule, when I wanted variety, I wanted a completely different outfit formula and not just a very subtle variation. So instead, what I was craving was a change in silhouette or a change in the complete base outfit. I'm gonna go over my bigger learnings in a completely separate video, but that was something to keep in mind. And that was really such a shock, since button-ups are my favorite thing. What I wish I had brought instead was a chambray shirt, kind of like the one I'm wearing today, which I actually picked up at a vintage store in Rome. I think a chambray shirt would have given me so much more variety in terms of texture and the way it falls on my body. So it would have changed both the silhouette and the texture, which would have given me that variety that I was craving within my basic outfit formula. Another item that I really didn't wear often was this thrifted black and white short A-line dress. This doesn't really surprise me, since this was a big departure from my personal style and I kind of wanted to test it out. I figured, when you're traveling, this is a really interesting time to experiment because you're in a different place. Maybe you want to play around with a different style vibe. Maybe you want to change up your 3 words. But regardless, I always kept going back to my regular outfit formulas, even on days when I wanted things to fall off the body and I wanted things to be a little bit looser and not so form-fitting. I never really gravitated to that dress. I would always go for shorts and a button-up, or my looser sort of wide leg pants and trousers instead. So I ended up donating this dress. I don't think I would have brought anything in its stead to replace it, since I'm not a big dress person in the first place. This next one was a little bit more of a surprise, even though it was a dress. I really didn't reach for my striped button-up midi dress. This is a fantastic piece. When I purchased it secondhand, I really did like it, since shirt dresses are a major go-to for me. I know how to style them so many different ways, but it always felt a little bit too stuffy. I even had the sleeves adjusted to see if that would make it feel a little bit more me, but for some reason reason, I really couldn't get into this dress, and I did try really hard. So again, this is kind of a piece where I wouldn't have brought anything in its stead to replace it. If anything, maybe another pair of shorts perhaps. But again, since I'm not a big dress person, or maybe I hadn't found the right dress, I don't think I would have sort of replaced this with anything. Actually, that's a little bit of a lie, because I ended up finding a dress in Lecce, which I wore like at least once or twice a week. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in another video. The next item I really didn't wear that much were my aunt's block-heeled slip-on sandals. This could be for a number of reasons. I fractured my patella at the beginning of May, right when we got to Croatia. It was actually at the Lisbon airport where I fell. So I really didn't feel comfortable wearing heeled shoes that didn't have any support at the back or any sort of secure fastening at the back of the foot. And already these sandals were a little bit loose because they belong to my aunt and her foot is a lot wider than mine. Even before though that I fractured my patella, when I had an opportunity to wear these sandals, I wore them, but I didn't feel super great in them. I think I just never really felt comfortable walking in something that felt a little bit loose. So I ended up donating these, and what I would have preferred to either bring or wear instead would have been a really flat and functional but still very elegant sandal. I think fracturing my kneecap and having to let go of these sandals really made me kind of bite the bullet and buy these Bari sandals by M.A. Parsons. I do a full review of them and why I bought them in this video here, so I'll link that for you. But these sandals I wore, gosh, like 90% of the time. I wore them in the end with like dresses, skirts, pants, trousers, jeans. Rather than having a sandal that I felt only so in, these were definitely worth the investment. And that's what I would have brought and what I ended up having and wearing instead. The last piece that I brought, which I think was really unnecessary, was my plain Organic Basics tank top. For some reason, I wore this a lot in Montreal, but I think because this capsule was so basic and pared down in terms of colors and prints and textures, when I was wearing this, it really just felt too plain. I needed a little bit more detail. When I wanted to gravitate towards this top, or when I wanted to wear just a simple basic tank, I would go to instead my white ribbed tank top or just my regular silk camisole. And I think that's because both of these, while they are very simple in terms of silhouette and style, they have a little bit of detail. The silk has that sheen, that beautiful texture, and the ribbed tank top has that really interesting texture and visual as well. So they provided a bit more detail and interest to my very basic outfits. So I think that tank top was just a little bit superfluous. Now, there were some items that I do still wish I had brought with me. The first was a pair of loafers. Since we were there over 2 shoulder seasons, I don't know why I did not think of loafers. Loafers are like the perfect shoulder season shoe. I remember contemplating whether I should bring them or not, and I definitely should have. So if you are traveling over shoulder seasons, or if you are working with limited capsules, I think loafers could be a really good item. They look good with socks, without socks, they look good with tights, and they would have added just the right amount of weight to all of my other pieces, like my jeans, trousers, or if you're like a skirt or a dress wearer, I think you can definitely pair loafers with these. So yeah, loafers would have been a good one. Another shoulder season essential that I really wish I had thought of was a pair of tights. Similar to the loafers, I think this is just such a great way to add a little bit of weight and transition things like shorts and jeans really easily without a lot of effort. So there were many times where I really wished I had tights to just change up my looks really subtly. Another piece which I was missing often was a short jacket, a little like more casual denim or a little shorter bomber. I realized that I had brought my wide leg jeans, I had purchased a pair of wide leg pants, which was part of my plan. I completely didn't think about sort of silhouettes at all and silhouette pairings at all. I brought with me a blazer and a trench coat, and both of these have very long silhouettes. And I really could have done with something shorter, not only to balance out the wider leg and volume silhouettes that I had on the bottom, but also just as something that had a little bit more of a chill and more relaxed vibe. That was something, I think that was like the #1 piece that I wish I had brought. Similar to the loafer, another pair of shoes that I wish I had brought were a pair of flat boots, like a flat ankle boot or a moto boot. Even though it was warm in Italy in September and October, everyone was wearing boots. It's a really good shoulder season piece to, you know, add a little bit of weight to shorts and skirts and dresses. I think I was so worried that they would take up too much space in my suitcase that I didn't want to bring boots, but second to the cropped or like a short denim jacket, that was definitely the second item that I missed the most. And finally, a chunky knit. At least one chunkier knitwear sweater I could have used, especially when we were in Portugal. I ended up buying a sweater that is a heavier knit. It's cotton. I loved it. I still love it. It's from Isto, a really great slow fashion company in Portugal. But I think when I was packing, my Canadian bravado was a bit too strong. I just thought like, hey, if I'm in double digits, I could wear a bikini. It'll be fine. It'll be so warm. I think I thought that I was more impervious to cold weather than I actually was. So I definitely could have used another chunky knit. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it gave you some insight if you are packing or heading on a trip or just want to work with a more limited closet. Let me know if you learned something new or if you liked it. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be going over other topics of what I learned from working with my travel capsule for 9 months. And if you have any questions specific to working with a travel capsule like I did, just let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer them all through some more videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will be back with another slow fashion video. Ciao!